So, good morning. Good morning. Hello. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. You probably don't need to double check to make sure you're on the right spot. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? Good morning. Yeah, you probably don't have to. Hey, Jill, how are you? Good morning. Good morning, Debbie. Good to see you all. Hello, hello. Hello, Jeff. Good morning, Tanya. Hello, Donna. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Nicole. Look at this. Lots of bright and early morning risers. This is fantastic. Good morning, Carmen. So, how are we today? How are we today? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, even with some crappy sleep. Shannon, good morning. Cheers. I was already reaching for it. I knew you were about to hit the comment. So, good morning. And hello, Margaret. Rodney, good morning. Geez, I think I need to. This is probably the most good mornings I've gotten in a long time. A lot of rapid fire stuff here. I love it. That's great. Appreciate that. I mean, it's good that you guys are at least let me know because I can only see a number. I can't until I see somebody put a comment. I have no idea who's all really truly watching, and I know some people aren't into commenting and things like that, and that's cool. That's totally cool. Hey, Chad, how you doing, man? Good morning. And yeah, so I mean, so yeah, I can never tell. So it's nice that at least to get a quick idea of who's watching. So hopefully everybody's doing well. It's Saturday again, the 12th of March, 2022. Uh, while I'm thinking of dates and things, let me make sure that I go ahead and say it now in case I forget later, because that's always a possibility. When you get on a tangent about something, like maybe like the topic, and you just forget about things. So I want to say, to any of the Irish viewers out there, happy St. Patrick's Day this coming Thursday. So hopefully you guys have a good time. I mean, I know the rest of us will probably be having some drinks as well. I mean, what would it be on St. Patrick's Day if you can't you know have some Guinness, or have a shot of Irish or whiskey of some sort. So happy St. Patrick's Day. So that's a little bit of ways away, but we're close enough to it. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. What else we got? And I guess I could take this down, go off my other screen here. See, I got to get my, not that I have a lot of notes, because I really wanted to have some fun with the topic today. There we go. That's cool enough. Good. So yeah, so did oh, well, Shannon, that's great. That's awesome. 33%. That's a good number. Wow. Did you know that, or did you suspect it? What's the um because I know, like, there's some people that you find something that was kind of in there that you didn't even know you had. So good morning, Rhonda. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. So Samira. Yeah, so hopefully everybody's doing well. I gosh, I'm trying to think. There's so many things I wanted to touch on. Uh, it's been an interesting. You know what? That's why I'm stumbling. Tanya hit it on the head. I was waiting. Hey, good morning, Kelly. I kind of was waiting to see if somebody would notice it. I had no idea, but see, there it is. Somebody noticed it. Who knows? Yes, big difference, right? A huge difference from all these months and couple years. Big difference going into today. So yes, hopefully this looks a little bit differently. That's why I was kind of interested to see, if anybody would recognize me at all. So that's cool, Shannon. I told her there's me to look at my name, but definitely confirmed it. Good, good. Yeah, yep. Yeah, exactly, Margaret. I mean, sometimes you realize you got something in there that's small. Um, but yeah, so yes, little bit of a fresh face. I think I was trying to, oh, thank you, Jen. Trying to, get that early spring start, but thanks, Nicole. I was gonna say, it's got to look a little bit different, it's not all wild and crazy, but that's true, Tanya. Oh man. But no, this has kind of been in the works for a while, and I, wanted to I've been wanting to do it. I've been wanting to at least get the cheeks, cleaned up a little bit. It's been forever, and it was actually quite interesting because I did this all last night, so that way it looked really, fresh for today. But I got into it, and it was so weird to because I trim things. I always keep the cheeks really short and stuff, but it was weird to finally use Hey, Lori, good morning. I It was so weird to use a razor again. you know, to get all this stuff down. It was so weird. I haven't touched a razor. Holy smokes. Good morning, Rachel. Yeah, I haven't touched one over 3 years, maybe 4, something like that. So it was a really weird evening for me. But so yeah, so hopefully you kind of like it. And it kind of goes along with something I'm going to be asking everybody's opinion, or at least well, yeah, I mean, I want your opinion here in a minute. So oh, cool, Jill. That your husband did the same trim and shoot competition archery and started. Yeah, I do. I shot for a little bit myself. And yeah, I couldn't imagine I haven't done it because I hurt my shoulder at one point, and then I just never got back into it. But I could now. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine what it'd been like, drawing back and you got everything right there, especially like this. Holy smokes! Hey, good morning, Dinah. And yeah, so but I wanted to do that because that basically, I said, it comes up into a question I'm going to ask everybody, so hang in there for just another moment. But other than that, it's been an interesting week. Highs and lows, but I think that's like everybody. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes you get a blend. I think mine was a little bit more of a blend this week. So kind of curious to see how everybody did. I know one thing I did. Well, this is okay. This is a separate question, but how was everybody feeling? I want to say like Wednesday, Thursday. What was I seen some people post about it, and I was kind of curious on what people's take were. Not so much. Well, I mean, it could be related to you, but what was it like if you were out and about, or around others and things, because there was some interesting things going on, and I never truly found what the true cause of what was going on. But it was interesting because, I mean, I was in the amongst them, at all. So I mean, it was kind of interesting to see some dynamics playing out. So yes, well, true, Margaret, you would, yeah, you would just braid that thing out. Chad, I've never seen my dad's shaved face till my 20s. First time I ever seen him, I was home watching the stranger walk right up to the front door and start walking. Almost shot my thunder, thinking he was an intruder. That's awesome. Yeah. That interesting enough. I mean, because I have Chad, I have a couple, young kids, and one's 13, one's 10. So, they were kind of shocked, even though it's not fully gone, but just the image. I mean, even this morning, my daughter, which never gets up this early, was up, and she was just like, I just can't get over looking at your face. So it's nice that you can kind of shake things up a little bit, and kind of make everybody be like, what? So that's kind of fun, in a good positive way, that is. So but yeah, but like I said, I've been planning this, and it's kind of well, I already talked about that. But yeah, but if you guys okay, so Rodney's saying it was kind of stressful. Yeah, like I said, there were some weird things going on, and it was I noticed it more so while driving. So I don't know if anybody was out and about or things, but for some odd reason, it kind of reminded me of like a full moon, even though there wasn't. I think we're in between a new moon and full moon. So it was interesting to see how irritable people were. Yeah, thanks, Chad. um, because it didn't take much. Full moon Vides this past week, right, Nicole or Kelly? Yes. Oh, Shannon, what do we got? Okay. Mercury moved into, let's see, I'll throw hers. I moved into Pisces on Wednesday. It was a wild day at work. Board dismissed the CEO and replaced the someone interim in the Clue community we serve. Now the community is shaking up. Wow. That's a shake up. Nicole, what do you got? That was quite a heavy energy Thursday, but the full moon is coming on the 18th. Yep. Okay, Donna, Wednesday was weird for me, especially at work. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. There was some couple strange things. Margaret's got a couple of days that felt off. Yeah, that's what I thought, because, like, sometimes we don't think much of it. And it's weird that, when they just kind of show up out of nowhere, that's where I think it's interesting, and then bring it up so we can talk about it and just see if there's some type of commonality to it. Like I always said, I'm terrible with remembering all the different what's going on. I mean, like what Shannon was saying, Mercury moving into Pisces. I say I just can't stay on top of that stuff. So it's interesting to hear how the stars are aligning and what they're possibly doing and creating and causing on all of us, and even the people that aren't really, open to this stuff, or even really care about it. But it's interesting to still see those dynamics play out in the other people, not that I'm calling them other people. I'm just saying the other people. But uh, but yeah, it's interesting to see how that. But yeah, I mean, we had a really bad car accident. Not almost, well, so you guys know I live in Ohio, but I have to drive to Michigan for work, and I'm leaving at 4:30 in the morning to drive an hour and 10 minutes, and um about 2 miles before the border, there was a huge accident where couple of suspects were running from the law. They decided to jump on our highway heading in the wrong direction, and then purposely crashed into two semis that were driving, heading, northbound into Michigan. So uh, they got footage of that, from the street, the highway cams and stuff like that. But it was weird because, and the reason I bring that up, not because of the tragedy there. I mean, luckily, the two truck drivers, they're okay, but the two suspects that were in the car that hit the trucks, didn't make it. But what I was getting at was that, while I didn't know what was going on, when we were coming up, we're all in dead stops, and then realizing they were moving all of us off the road at this exit. And so, you know usually you people, you know have some courtesy. Hey, you got to get over. You blend one, and then we move up. You kind of do the thing. That's what we're supposed to do. That what helps make the flow of traffic moving. And people were just trying to go off the median side of the road, and it's like, no, we're all going off. Why are you cutting? And it's just, and then people just darting in and out for, like, what reason are you doing that? And then they jump out and see that they have to get back over. I'm like, and I mean, I had a guy that was trying to, like, ride the line, the dotted stripes between me and a semi, and I'm like, that's not even a lane. And I'm looking over, going, "What are you doing?" I'm going, "These people are crazy today," So it's like, what is happening? So that's why I thought, and that was Thursday. So yeah, that was interesting. But even Wednesday, I had a couple close calls. Like literally getting into a bad car wreck myself, just people not paying attention. So let's see, what do we got, Jen? I honestly think that was from the Mars and Venus conjunction. Irritability was the Mars aspect of rising to the surface. Debbie, I actually felt energized Wednesday when I went out, but think that was just excited to be out and about shot. That's true. You've been going through a lot. Third time I've been out. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you did. And see, that's kind of interesting too, is when you're kind of in a situation like you, recovering from surgery and things, you could, end up jumping around. And then finally, when you get out, you're kind of skip over all the other stuff that's going on. Jen, I'm excited about the Neptune aligning with the sun today and tomorrow. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know. Chad, let's see. Chad, after my son died, found his energy was tied to me as his father. A journey he had to take off to know my son was okay in the next life. X-Men and Cerebro is the best I can give of what I do. I field of energy spikes like an equalizer. Strong people have strong spikes. When I go to that place, I can see people, find them. Energy fields are amazing things, and how we interact is mind blowing. That's awesome, dude. It's interesting. That's I liked what you put there, because that's some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about a little bit, actually. So I like how that was perfect wording, man. Thank you for that. Yeah, exactly, Margaret. Yeah, and Rodney, you're right. Yeah, I mean, there's some theories about that. I mean, and like I said, there's things I don't want to bring up. I'm not trying. I never try to get on the negative vibes, because I never want to do that. But there's some stuff out there that has created some of this, and we're in a situation, and now we're trying to get some of us together to where we can push it out, and people kind of accept the positivity again. And hey, things happen. You don't have to sit there and get in a shouting match or get into violence. You know what I mean? So but yeah, so that was interesting this week. And then what else we got for you? Okay, yeah, we're at 9:45. Perfect. So let me just jump because, like I said, because I know some people got to get going and things like that. So I totally get that. So, but let me get to the question. So the question I have for everybody is I had an opportunity, well, I still do. I have an opportunity that fell into my lap, and I kind of know what the general I know what you guys are going to say. So, yeah, yeah, Margaret, absolutely. Um the uh I know what you guys are going to say, so it's not like, but I think it's just kind of neat to see, what people's take are and how they feel about it. And you guys, and it's interesting because this is all like one of those things. And if we've been paying attention to a lot of the stuff that's been going on this year, and I'm talking from the stars and all that fun stuff, there's a lot of things that have been lining up for stuff. And it's interesting that the opportunity that fell in my lap was kind of a part of this whole process. So I was sent an email from the place that you guys are all watching this from, unless it's YouTube. But the I'm trying to avoid saying certain things because you never know if then all of a sudden they're going to watch and like do something weird. But I got an opportunity. Okay, so I do the lives every Saturday, and then I'm trying to get back into doing some more. Well, I guess they took notice of that fact. That obviously I've been consistent enough every Saturday, and they were offering some money, not a whole lot. Let me stress that. Not a whole lot. But they're offering a little bit of money if I can achieve 10 hours of airtime per month. And like I said, it's nothing fantastic. It's less than what I make in 1 week of my normal day job. So still not bad, still not nothing to cry over. I mean, money's money, right? And I got to pay some things. I want to get a website going and stuff. So any little bit is going to make a huge difference. So the opportunity came to do that, and I thought it was kind of neat that it's like, then how do I do that? Now I've been talking forever about, here's some of my ideas that I, want to do with you, all of you. I mean, I want to obviously continue the morning show, no problem. And then I want to be able to do, reading shows and, to achieve 10 hours, it doesn't seem like a lot, in some ways, but at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, that's a lot of planning on my side. Now, if I do a reading show, that's not really much planning. We're just going to have fun with it, Um, the other kicker would be is instead of doing like an hour, to give myself, some downtime afterwards, because I'm a little tired, but not too bad. And be nice to kind of segue, into my evening and then get ready for bed. And so if I did like 2 hours, if I did that twice a month, like one week, skip a week, do another one. Well, that now I'm up to 8 hours, and then I just got to fill in 2 more hours somewhere, right? And that could maybe be a non-music guided meditation, because obviously I'll get flagged for that for copyrights. And the other thing would be is like a flute performance, throw that out there, so now all that stuff I've been thinking of, well, now I got to see if that applies to where I can fill it, and like I said, it doesn't seem like a lot. It's like 10 hours. I mean, I work 9 hours, but you take one away for, lunch. So, I mean, I get 8 per day. So it's like, how hard is it? you know, and, I mean, excuse me. Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Yep. It boils down to a couple hours a day. It does, Margaret. Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit. I mean, I'd have to do, easy, 3 hours or so a week, roughly, because I mean, in a way, I mean, really like 2.5, but like I said, it's possible. It's just then I got to make sure that, my schedules are all lined up and things like that. So, there's just all these things I have to play with now. But like I said, that's why I wanted to throw it out there. I come with the great land of the Jews. Everything my soul and DNA says, take the money, you work hard and you do good work. Universe is giving back to that energy. Enjoy some of your laurels, brother. Yeah, thanks, Chad. Yeah, well, like I said, it's not a lot. There is room to grow. It can get to something pretty decent, still not bad for, a month. But like I said, every little bit, every penny makes a difference, and like I said, if it can, it's like having another job in a way, even though I don't want to classify it as a job because I enjoy this. Hey, Dana, good morning. So, like I said, I think it would be a lot of fun. And I was pretty much leaning into it because it's crazy how it timed out that way that then here you go, and there's not a lot of restrictions, I mean, I still have, free reign of content and stuff like that. So it's not like they're dictating, they're paying, but they're not dictating, which is great, but that's, that goes back to the whole shaving thing a little bit, obviously, you know, like you look pretty crude, you guys know that my energy is a little, my look is different than the energy you guys get from me. So it's not, it's not over, I might look a little scary and might be frightening, but once you get to know me, like they always say, sometimes, some of these biker guys are like, big teddy bears. They might have a, a rough outside, but inside, they're sweethearts. So, yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun. But I thought if I get this down, and I'm going to have to bring in some more people, I got to have to increase the viewing audiences, of course, and uh try to bring in more, especially if when I get the doing the live, more live readings and things, that would be huge because obviously, a lot of people are going to have to like, spread the word for me and see what happens. But yeah. Good morning, Sharon. I see that. All right, Rodney, you have a good day. Thank you, Nicole. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, hopefully it was a good one. You could, Rachel, I could, well, that's the thing is, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to go with this. See if it right, Kelly. Hey, even if I got 1 month and that's all I got was, I'll make 10 hours work, no problem. It's just how do I spread it, and like I said, hey, Amy, how you doing? Yeah, well, not anymore, because look what I just did last night. So um and Shannon, I'd say do it. Do you? Your flute playing is unique, so do it feels good. Do not watch other YouTubes that do the readings. Oh my gosh, I don't. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I support ones that I'm really connected to and good friends with. So if they're doing something, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to tune in for a little bit. But I try as much as possible to do my own thing. And good thing is since I've been doing it for so long, I think I do have my own little style. So I feel like I have one, and um, it works. I don't get too many complaints. So, Chad, that I'm known as Mr. Murder Race. My wife and kids know secretly I'm more of a day. There you go. See, that's that's it. Isn't it crazy? Amazing. Just a little bit of the look you can give, or if you have a natural resting face, sometimes it just looks like, oh my gosh, is he okay? But um so yeah. Tanya, everything happens for a reason. This may grow into something that you can support your family and won't have to try. Tell me about it, Tanya. That's another, that's big key factor in there too. I mean, it's huge because yeah, I would love to not, do nothing better. Because if I could do, I mean, if I could get, do enough readings and I could do some shows and obviously, keep spreading, the positivity and the messages, and I can do that from home. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is the dream. And I am working towards it. It's not like I'm just throwing it out there and not trying. I am, and I got a lot of people, you guys and a lot of others that, are pushing. It's like, just keep, go for it, do it, and some are even saying, just do it now, just quit your job and do this, just jump right in, and I get that, and I've always had this, mentality of like, well, I need to prep a little bit more. And like, I've kind of screwed up recently on, some money. So I'm paying for that, literally paying for that right now. so, so I'm, I'm recovering. So let's just put it this way. I mean, I got paid the week before, and I was like, whatever I do, don't touch it. Even though a couple bills got to come out of there, but I'm like, don't touch it. And then I get paid next Friday. So I'm like, as soon as I get that one, I'm going to be able to feel a little bit more easy and relaxed, and that's the thing that sucks. I really screwed up. I watched what I got lost, and you pay for what you do, you learn from your mistakes. And oh, so, so it's one of those things, but, I mean, granted, I was never in like deep trouble or anything like that. There's room to get out, but I mean, my mistake, I should pay for it. So I'm not gonna, uh, let let other family, help me out in that sense. So, but it's cool. Like I said, I'm okay, but stupid part, I'm me. But hey, just proves I'm human. I'm not something way out there. I mean, but it's pretty interesting. So, what do we got? Chad, Amy understands the assignment. Oh, let's see. Raid that bad boy and add some Viking beans. I know I have them. Christopher has given me them, so I have them. That's the thing is trimmed it up. I trimmed this guy up like maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that. So I got it trying to get it more even. So yeah, it's about time. I just got to get my butt on it. So yes, I will. I will. I know that was even a thought too, is like, do I have the time to even do that this morning or just, band it up and just leave it band? So then I really like show you guys what things look like. So we'll see. Yes, Nicole, the universe always will guide you. Yes, yes, yes. So, um, oh, I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. Um, real quick sip. And so, yeah, so I'm gonna, I gotta fill out some forms and things like that, but it's all online stuff, but I'm gonna fill that out and then who knows? You guys might seeing a little bit, more things pop up here. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. I don't know how fast that starts, but I guess we'll see. But I got to read everything. There's several pages of stuff, so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna be, oh yes, let's do it, and then I get caught in some like crazy scheme or something. So we'll see. Plus, I want to make sure 100% that it is truly them and not something else. So it's another reason why I hold on to some of that. It's like I want to make sure that it's legit. And I've gotten 2 emails from it, so I'm like, okay. Usually, you get like one scam email, and they never. It's always then changes to some other, email address or something like that. But it's been the same one twice. So I'm like, okay. So it is something. So yeah. Um, yeah, recap. I was like, well, I know you do that for me, Jeff. I realized that. No. I mean, basically, Jeff, real fast. I got an opportunity from Facebook. There, I said it. That they're willing to give me a couple bucks. It's nothing great, but they're willing to give me a couple bucks. I just got to fill some things out, but I got to do 10 hours worth of live shows. They sent me a whole thing about it, and they said, you do 10 hours, we'll give you some cash. And like I said, it's nothing great. It's less than what I make per week at my normal job. But I'm like I've been telling everybody, hey, sometimes money's money. I mean, sure, I'll lose some taxes on it, but still it's a couple bucks more than I had, a minute ago. So, I mean, so I'm thinking of pretty much diving into that, and there'll just be 10 hours worth of, shows, whether it's reading shows. I mean, the morning shows are going to stick. I might not feel as bad running over at 10:30 from now on. Jeff, they emailed me, so they obviously got to pay attention, and I think they obviously know who's doing stuff, and that's the only thing I can think of, because I didn't see nothing. I've never even heard of it. I didn't know there was an opportunity, and then they sent emails, and I'm like, whoa, okay. So all I can say is just keep doing what you do on Thursdays at 7 on their page, Boot Productions Paranormal, and it might just be a matter of time before you get that email like I did. So like I said, I had no idea, and it was the coolest thing. I'm like, what? And I'm like, and then I open it up to read it more, and I'm like, this is interesting. I'm like, yeah, can I do? And then I was talking to the wife. I'm like, can you handle me doing 10 hours sitting at this computer? So she's like, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing right now. I mean, really, in a grand scheme of things, yes, there's things, but what I was doing all of January and February, where I had like pretty much no evenings at all during the week. Now I really don't have much going on until the fall, and that's going to be even more crazy. So we'll see. Jeff, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Hey, that's the whole thing. And even then, maybe they're watching my numbers. That's the other thing I can think of. Maybe they're seeing a nice amount to where I don't know how it works. So I know, Debbie. That's the thing is, I mean, like I said, I love doing this. I like, being able to spread a message, and like now this year really hitting on like more of a, topic, which I'm going to dive into because now it's 10 o'clock. So, but I really want to, I mean, I just to have fun. And like, you see that I have notes, but I'm not like reading lines. And you guys will know, because I always say, hey, I'm going to read something verbatim, but, so that way I'm not like guilty of like, stealing somebody, because I'm going to, give everybody the credit that they deserve. So, but most of the time I just try to do it like we would be in person. Sometimes I can remember something, sometimes I don't, but you guys always know I'm always straightforward on it. I ain't throwing sugar on it. Oh, cool. Oh, well, there you go. I'm gonna throw this up there then. Yeah. So, if you guys are curious, there was an experiment that Boo Productions did. Jeff and Dana did with I did remote viewing, and we talked about it. I talked a little bit about it, but they've also talked about it on their show the last couple weeks. And you guys will have to check it out. When I see the video when it comes up, I'll definitely share it to my page so you guys can check it out. It was the first time trying to, in a way, Jeff and Dana, are into the experience. They want to prove something, so they wanted to see what the what's possible. And so there's some things that were pretty valid, and there's no way, or and most people would think it's impossible to see what I saw and then shared. And so and the things that were happening, so you guys will have to watch it, because even I haven't seen. I only know my section of it. I don't know the other side, so I haven't seen what was going on for real. I mean, I was told about it, but well, Margaret, they're going to post the video tomorrow, so it'll be a kind of a cleaned up version of it, and then eventually they're going to send out all the raw footage, so that way people can't say that it was faked or they were editing stuff in. So, but like I said, as soon as he gets it, I'll dump share it onto my page and stuff like that. So, well, cool, Chad. You know what? I appreciate you doing that for them. Like I said, Jeff and Dana are really good friends of mine. Jeff does fantastic video footage, so I'm going to give him some credit on there. And yeah, there you go, Dana. Boo Bites on Thursday. Thank you for that. I'll throw that up there. Yep. So that's a lot. They're fun. I caught their show this week. I was a few minutes late, but that's why I'm always eating dinner, and it's like just getting in there. So, but yeah, it'll be really fun to see what the whole video looks like from top to bottom, and it's gonna be cool. I know it is. So you guys will get a kick out of it. So let me dive in before we run out of time. But even again, not that I'm getting paid yet, but we go a couple minutes or we can handle it. But I wanted to talk about the main thing was energies. And the interesting thing is, and everybody talks about energy and stuff like that. We know it. I say it, positive energies, you guys see, I'm just not sitting here just like monotone and stuff, whatever I can do to make you guys feel like you're, having some fun with me, and even though I can't see any of you, as long as I feel like I'm giving you something to smile at or laugh at, even if it's at my expense, that's okay. And, but that's what there's energies everywhere. So yeah, Chad. Yep. Harold. Yep. Harold and, yeah. And Butch. Oh, that's cool. I'll be darned. Wow, that's super cool, Chad. Wow. Dang, how about that? That's an interesting. Cool. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about a particular type, and I thought about this all week because there were some things that happened, and I was, it's funny because there was things that happened to me and then some others, and then it was like weird that this all fell in this week, and I thought it was interesting, and there were so many ways I wanted to go with this, and it was hard to like, how do I do this? How do I? So there's I was loaded with a lot of what ifs or how, to really explain it. So I whatever's going to come out is going to come out, and it's just the way it is. So, but I spent so much time trying to debate how am I going to do this. But so, like I said, we all know about energies. It's everywhere, whether it's natural or whether it's man-made. We know there's energies out in the universe. There's just a ton of it. We are energy. Everything about us. Classic thing is, if you get up to somebody in their face and they feel uncomfortable and they take a step back, that's even if their eyes are shut, you'll still get that, whoa, something's not right. You'll feel the energies between each other. So it's all there. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about a particular one, not that I believe they're all like named, but the way I looked at it and how it was happening for me and then some others, I was like, well, that's interesting. And I never really thought about it. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll bring it up for a little bit. Because then again, nice little thing to put in everybody's head and ponder it more, just like I do. And so the energy I'm talking about it has nothing to do with a romantic, energy. So like if you really, you see somebody and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so attracted to them. But not so much we're not saying like, physically, but just that mental thing. Like you just, what it's going to be like to talk to them or hang out with them and things like that. What I'm talking about is let's take away the romantic stuff, which is cool, but most of us don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. But you take that away, but I want to look at it from a standpoint that's where you look at the energies between people, and there's some friendships that I have right now, excuse me, that I have right now that it's sometimes it's hard to describe what that is. And that's what I want to that's the thing I want to talk about. So I have friends. Do you call them a friend? Do you call them a best friend? Is there another title that it should be referred to as? I don't know. Because a lot of times there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of things that you both do, or that one person does one thing and you do another thing, but you like the fact that there's these two things, and they like you both support each other in that. And it's amazing how that relationship, and I'm going to say it like that, uh the bond is really interesting and totally cool. Oh my gosh. But like I said, it's different than, like, say, just a casual best friend, or a friend. It's one thing that you got a friend and stuff like that, but it's different when you guys are totally on the same page on a lot of things. And again, we're not going to the romantic side, which, oh my gosh, you'd like the same. And hey, that's, thank you, Jen. Exactly. That's probably a better way to put it. I like that. Thank you for that. And but yeah, I mean, there's just the stuff that you can't get enough with talking to them. You can't get enough to you guys just you go back and forth, you listen to each other, and you're just like, holy smokes, it's just so cool. And that's great, Nicole. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Um, oh, there you go. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I guess I never guess I thought about the soul part of it, um, but yeah, I mean, it's fun to think because you really have like I said, you could just share all these things, and yet, you know, you don't see it a lot. And it's like, well, why is that? Is it because you just didn't find that person, that soul mate, soul person, that soul brother or sister? Is because you didn't find them, but like I said, you just want to be around them so much because you just love it. And it's not, again, not going down like, well, I want to date them next. No, no, because you don't need to go there. That's not the energies that you guys are providing for each other. And it's one thing to have holistic people and metaphysical practitioners and things of that sort come into your life for a little while. You learn a couple things and they move on, and that happens all the time. We see it a lot. We've all had it. Any of us that do that have had people come in, whatever it was, whether they gave you something, whether you gave them something, or each other gave you something, and then they just kind of fade away. And it's not a bad thing. It's just how it was meant to be. You learn, and that helps you out, or you help them out, and then on they go. But you get these that just sometimes you just can't explain it half the time. You don't understand it, and but it feels right. It's so cool to be around them. You like can't wait to talk to them again. And I could totally see, like, for me, I the majority of you obviously in here, you can see who is it. It's predominantly females, right? I could see a spouse being a little jealous of that. You know what I mean? And but see, I never look at it like that. I've tried, I've explained a lot, and it's like, no, that's not how it goes. It's not how it works. It's not where my head is. It's not my thought. My head is, because it's that connection. There's a connection there, and it's not, it doesn't mean anything to where they're thinking it. You know what I mean? And so let's see. Jen, I'm gonna read a couple. Jen, yeah, soulmate. That's exclusively. They're not exclusively romantic. I like that. I gotta put that up real quick. That's great. Shannon, we all have our own large soul tribe. So yeah, I love the feeling around certain people, and it feels like home. Yep. I mean, it don't get any more clear than that. And it is. You can just tell when they're around. You just like, dang, that's awesome. Tanya, yeah, I love connecting like that. Valerie. Yeah, people come either into your life for a reason or season or a lifetime. You got it. Exactly. Absolutely. 100%. And that's what I think is so cool. But I think it doesn't get a lot of credit because like you just like I said, you don't hear it all the time. It's not always me talking. By the way, it's 1010, by the way, 1010. Just so you guys know. Here, I'll do that too. Contribute. See, those numbers do pop up. Uh, I but yeah, I just don't think we talk about it enough. And I think it needs to be recognized, I mean, more. Like I said, it's great to have a whole group together, whole tribe together, and things like that, and everybody can talk to each other and things. And I think because we've been so isolated for so long, and we've only had technology to try to keep us together. That's what I'm hoping now that we can start getting back together again and feeling those in person for a change because we have lost it over the years, and we've been out, we've seen some of us have seen each other, and there's still some I haven't seen in years, and it's killing me because it's just like, man, I just want to be around them again, and even if it's for like 5 minutes, it's still just those 5 minutes is a huge thing uh, that you can feel. You just get that kind of breath of fresh air, and it just like that's what's cool, I mean, it truly is. Um, yeah, it isn't something that needs to be said. It just happens. Right, 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 Joe. Yep. Chad, deja vu works more with people than a situation or circumstances. How many more I know you from somewhere than I've been here before. And I think there's a reason. Yeah, and that's, I think, the other thing that probably ties into it is the fact that why is it that there's certain people that, man, I could just tell them whatever, you know what I mean? And they can tell me whatever. And how did that happen? I mean, you know, I got one friend that I've only met in person once, one time in person. And yet the bond is amazing, truly amazing. And I don't, I appreciate it. I love it. And it's like so cool, and so it's crazy to think that, I mean, really, it's been officially, yeah, what are we, couple days ago, it was like it's like 3 years now since the last time I saw this person, and it's terrible. I kind of thought I'd see them at least once or twice a year, at least, given even the distance between us. But it's like, you know, so, but again, sometimes technology helps us out with that. And, phone calls, lots of messages, it's so, but, that's what's cool too, is that even with the distance, even where, you just can't get in a car and drive a few minutes or whatever, you still can keep those bonds alive. You still can keep them going. And that's even cooler because then now that there's no way to break it. I mean, obviously, there's always a slim chance, that they could move on, and that's that, and that you hate for that to happen. You hate for that to happen, but you um because that's the thing, is you feel like you can really lean on them, or and trust them with things, and get and ask a question, and there's a good chance they're going to have the answer that you need, and again, it's just it's such a cool thing to look at and recognize more. Like I said, I think that's more probably why I'm bringing it up, is the fact that it's not said all the time, and again, now seeing what some of your comments were, soul brothers and sisters, soul tribe, I completely forgot about those, and it makes sense that it's there. But again, I think we just need to push on it more. And like I said, you guys might have some of those on your side, or you might not even have one yet. Not that there's anything wrong in that, but you kind of know, because like I said, it doesn't matter who they are or what they are, where they come from, all that fun stuff. But that's because it's inside that matters. Truly, that's not a cliche thing to say. It really is. It's the inside, your soul, your spiritual being is what matters to them. So it's the physical is the physical. It's whatever, that's just what's kind of holding us, together right now. In this, at this point in this year, and in this dimension. So, but it's just like I said, it doesn't matter, who or what they are. It's just that true inside, and you can just feel that bond is amazing. So, so if you have them, definitely, continue to do what you're doing, you know what I mean? And enjoying who they are. And like I said, you just look out for them, checking in on them all the time. And that's what, I try to do, like I said, doesn't, even if I'm just in general trying to reach out to people and stuff. But yeah, there's some connections that go deeper, and they don't have to be awkward. They don't have to appear to be awkward. They might seem it from an outsider that just has never gone through that or experienced that. But then there's some of us that understand it. A lot of you do. You guys have, oh yeah, yeah, So a lot of you get it. And like I said, maybe you've had some and they've moved on, or maybe you still have some now. That's awesome, and hopefully you do. And you can't. The thing is it's not one of those that you can just rush or force. To. I mean, you could, if you don't have one, you could certainly put that intention out there. It's like, hey, I could use a soulmate about now, and maybe the universe can send one my way. You throw the attention out there, you never know. Something might come knocking on the door. Maybe not physically, but at the same time, they might, you might catch you on like a show. You might see somebody in the comment section and you're like, man, I just want to talk to them a little bit more. And you do. And then that starts up the whole thing. And then you realize all the things that you get along with and the things that you guys appreciate. And it just gets cool. And like I said, you can look at it as even then, I mean, well, it is a friendship. Yes, no doubt. But it's just a friendship that I think kind of goes in between all that. It's I mean, I guess you could say, well, like I said a few times, it's like a best friend sort of thing. But then again, I think it's even still between a best friend and, romantic, but it doesn't really, it just doesn't, but it does. Yeah. It just doesn't go. It's really an in between. That's just how I see it. I'm sorry. I mean, but it's so, you just can't, you can't explain it all the time. You know what I mean? So anyway, I thought it was cool. And I guess I should say, because there was a couple of things that happened this week that kind of brought that out. And it was interesting was that ironically, there were some experiments that were done, like, not, I'm trying to think. It was experiments, and again, I'm going to say my bad word that I always refuse to say, but it was we were going to try something. Like I said, that's my bad word. You guys know that I don't like saying that word, but it sort of was. It was just like, well, let's just see. You know what I mean? And so, I personally was working with somebody, and I have a good connection with them, and I was doing a cleanse on them. And it went really well. And I thought, why don't I try something? Again, I said the word, And so I thought, not in a weird way, but just to see if they would notice, because even for me, I was curious to see what kind of remote stuff, how far can I take the remote viewing, and again, not in, a bad way or a way that I should, don't do that kind of thing. But like I did, I gave the person a cleanse. And then right before I left to come back to my physical self, all I did was I took my hand and I placed it on top of theirs. And I was curious if they would have a sensation at all. Can I provide, whatever? I mean, whether it's a cold feeling, a hot feeling, a tingling feeling, what would it be? What would they notice it at all? Would they be open enough to notice that? That's what was intriguing to me, because I didn't even think about it until I was in the moment and I was at their place, and I was just like, let's see. I'm kind of curious. I mean, I care about the person, I mean, and they asked for a cleanse. So I mean, I did my part, I got them all cleaned up and stuff. And I thought, well, just as a kind of a fun thing, let's do that. So boom. I did that. And sure enough, we were talking afterwards and, going over the whole thing. And sure enough, I said, did you notice anything? I was trying to not lead them into answering it, but I was just like, did you notice any other sensations, arms or, hands or something, anything like that, or, like, well, what was weird was that, on my one finger, I was noticed this weird, like tingling and stuff going on. I'm like, really? And so I'm kind of, luckily it wasn't in camera, because I mean, I'm smiling just like I was now. I'm like, really? and it was like, okay, maybe there's a little bit more I can do, but it gives me some ideas, when you do a cleanse, sometimes, like I said, we all naturally build up, gunk and stuff that are on us. Like always, to me, when I see it, when I'm doing a cleanse, I see it looks like black tar and stuff, which weighs you down and things like that, like real tar would, and so I scrape all that off, and you I think that if you were in a situation where you were doing that for somebody and maybe they're going through a tough situation, what happens if you did that? Sometimes everybody needs a good hug. I mean, I think we all can agree. I don't, you don't find too many people that don't like a hug. And so I thought, if there's a way to do that, again, not being weird about it, but is there a way that I can do that? Can I provide that comfort? They know I'm there. They know I'm working on them. But if I could give them that hug, we all know what hugs can do. Doesn't matter if it's just happy to see that person or if they're going through something and you hug them just to kind of make them feel a little better. What if I can do that for somebody? What if I can touch them in a way? And is it is it going to be weird? Do I have to say something before I do that? You know what I mean? Well, I might hug you, or I might you might feel something, and then they're going to be like, "Wait, is this a paranormal thing? Some spirits hugging me or touching me?" you know so that's other things I have to then go through and like figure out, because that would be weird too, like, oh. Let's see, I'm gonna go back up real fast. um let's see. Shannon, real quick, makes sense. Many times I felt that there's a connection with various people. I want them to be close to me. Yeah. And what else did you say? This helps seeing this in a new lens perspective. Yes, Tanya. Have you ever thought about attempting to move something? Interesting that you say that. I'll talk about that in a second. Debbie, hugs and healing. Absolutely. Chad, fun experiment. You and your wife keep diaries, both write down during the week that you push to each other, days, times, and inflections. Also write down the days and times when you feel their presence. On Sunday, come notes. Crazy enough, the experiment goes further along with the more days and times to correlate a small window into why the government still has the exact talk we're having now. Interesting. That's really, man, chat, we're gonna have to have a phone call sometime, man. Interesting that you said some of that. That's really fascinating, because there's been a couple other experiments that kind of happen in, amongst it. Tanya, roll back to you real quickly. You ever talk about moving something? So yes. Have I? No. I've not found a good reason to, for me. A lot of times if I'm doing something remote viewing, or, others like to say astral projection, whatever one you want to use is fine. I like remote viewing because that's what I was taught. So I like that one better. Usually you're going in with an intention of what you're trying to do. So like this week there was a cleanse. So that's my sole purpose. I'm going to take anything that's bogging them down or affecting them, clean that up and get it out. That's my whole thing. To then go and do something like that in addition to that, sure, you could put that on the itinerary, so to speak, but why? Just to prove that you're there? Or is this just more of a gimmick? You know what I mean? Or are you really just trying to show off? Because then that's the thing that would go in my mind is, am I trying to have an ego to where that comes out and like, well, I'm there, I'm just going to flick the pen off the counter. You know what I mean? What's the purpose of it? What's the true message that's going to achieve? If somebody comes to me and wants a cleanse or healing, or if they got paranormal and they want me to do this, when I have permission to enter the home to do that, that's the way it should be. It should be what the job is, so to speak. I'm in there to do this and then get out. I'm not there to prove anything else to them. You know what I mean? Because again, they'll know it. I mean, if I cleanse them and they still feel like garbage, well, then obviously it didn't work, but if they, feel like there's definitely been a change, doesn't have to be a whole night and day change, but just a change. Because I don't try to put anything on anybody. It's, whether it's a healing or a cleanse, I'm not sitting there, going to say, you're going to be, completely clean, or you're going to be completely healthy after I'm done with you. No, that's not how it goes, because I can only do so much on my part. You, the person that's receiving it, has your part in it. And if you're going to be skeptical or you're going to, well, I hope it works, you just kind of blew the whole thing. And it happens. I've had people like that before. It's been a while, but I've had it where they're just, they're like, oh, okay, and it's like, I mean, I want to do my best, but I also need the person that is really serious about it. If they really want that, then they have to do it. So anyway, what else we got? Okay, Chad, sure thing, buddy. Rachel. Yep, Carmen, that is a beautiful way to put that. It is true. Doing the type of work that we do, those of us that do the, metaphysical and healing, aspects of stuff, you know, it's if they're not all into it and they're just, you know, they just got a half blank, attitude, then it's not really going to happen. It's just like the whole point of like skeptics are great. I love skeptics. I try to be skeptical a lot too. And, until you can get proven otherwise, that's great. But there needs to be a healthy part of skepticism. If you get people that just hate mediums and think they're all frauds, okay, that's fine. You can say that, but what do you say to the people that when you do a reading for them and you get the messages and give them to your client, and then there's all these things that are said, that you didn't know. You provided all this stuff that you've never been in their home, you've never known their lives, and yet you give all this information. How does that work? You know what I mean? So you that's why I think they used to do that on TV a lot. You get a lot of people that just were against mediums and stuff, and they go on the TV and they're like, "Well, read me right now." And it's like, well, not with that attitude, because you don't want one. You're just trying to, be mean and negative, and why would I? You don't deserve it. I mean, like I said, I'm okay. And I've had, skeptic, but they were open. And that was the key thing. They were open to it. They're like, yeah, I'm not really a big fan, but I'm willing to see, if you do pick up on anything. I'm really curious. And sure enough, we sat down, had a great session, changed his mind completely. Like really mind-blowing stuff. And he was just like, I'm glad I was open to it. But that's the thing is he would have been blocked otherwise. So, um, Jen, what'd you say? I think doing an experiment to move something would be interesting just to see if such thing is possible, not to show up, but to see if it's a possibility. Yeah, it can be done outside of the cleanse or anything. Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, you could set it up completely to come over there and do that. So I'll come over to your house later, Jen. Don't worry, I won't break anything. Or, you know what, Jen, better yet, I'm going to grab your cat's tail. So if they jump, you'll know. I didn't get permission, so I'm not really going over there. Right. And Debbie, if they go in negative against something, that's what they're going to, yeah. And that's true too. Yeah. It's a very possibility that you might, find something other. But a lot of times, yeah, if you're essentially closed off, you won't believe in it, and that's fine. You don't have to, but if you're totally blocking everything, usually nothing comes through. And I've had a couple readings too, where they were a closet medium, and they purposely, and I've done it too to somebody too, but purposely put a wall up, purposely put the wall up. And I remember just flatly, I just can't get anything. I said, it's kind of strange. I've had, several readings that day, and I'm like, I just can't get anything. And then there's a smirk. It's like, yeah, well, I kind of put a wall up because I really didn't want you to go there, but I was just kind of curious if you could get through. And I'm like, well, obviously I didn't get through because I couldn't get past the wall. So it is possible, to block things, even as an experiment. And like I said, I've done that. There's another real good friend of mine. Uh, she does a lot. She's got several books and stuff, and so she's really made a good name for herself. And I did that one time. I went to her gallery reading. I'll never forget. I put the wall up on purpose because I wanted everybody else in the room to get a reading from her, to be a part of that. And so I didn't want to take away because it's like, well, we're friends. We can always do something real quick on the side. You know what I mean? As far as like a reading but I'm like, just read. So I remember halfway through and she kept coming over to me, but she wasn't looking at me, but she kept coming over and I knew, I knew what was going on. Cause I mean, you're a medium, you just know. So finally, cause I kept seeing wall, 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 and the next thing I know, next thing I know, I, I, I'm like, okay, she comes over one more time. I'm dropping it. Boom, I drop the wall when she comes over and she looks down at me like within seconds and it's like, and then she starts and I'm like, and then I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. And and then afterwards I told her, she's like, that's why I kept coming over there. Like there was something I needed to do over by you, and I don't know what it was. And then I see it. So I said, well, you really can put a wall up and stop that stuff. I mean, it is so it was fun, but for me that was it was a good test. Hey Jeremy, how you doing there, buddy? Let me back up a second. I missed a few. Chad Media back in the day purposely put fakers up on TV. You're right. You're right about that. Yep. Free minds are truly born in free people. That's the thing about the established ones is educating ourselves. Right. Yeah. If you guys do these experiments, I really want to be involved. Also, we've been invited to the South Main School to try them. Yeah, I get you, Jen. Yeah, noon work. I do. I do have a healing session today at 1:00. So I'd have to be done before 1. Jill, the cat comment is fun. I always say that my dad is around grabbing the cat's tail. He jumps up for. It could be. It could be. Yep. And see, Debbie, sorry, Adam. You can't use a cat to check for results. They're all It is true. Debbie, I will say, I just because I know Jen and I know she's got a cat that, when she's done, the shows that she's done like on Hearts of Collective Change. And sometimes you'll see the cat in the background and stuff. And I just thought, oh, that'd be funny. Just like, I was trying to find something that I knew quickly off the top of my head that she obviously would know. Just the whole thing, especially like if Jen was sitting at her computer watching something or doing some work and all of a sudden the cat jumps up, she's gonna be, oh god. Oh man, might be the topic. Now Jeremy, we're kind of like gotten off right here at the end, so we're just kind of having some fun now, but need to affirm, let's see, Shannon, need to affirm what you can or cannot do. That's true. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we'd be complacent not to see how far you can take something. Obviously, never going to abuse it or, never going to do anything that, common sense tells you is not a good idea. So I do that a lot where I really focus on making sure I'm doing everything in the best positive way for that person. So, yeah. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so hopefully that again, just kind of a recap since we're past 10:30, but hopefully you guys kind of see what I was getting at. And like I said, there's some things I know there were some other experiments that happened. We're kind of out of time, but I guess I could tell this one real quickly. But the same person that I did the cleanse with has never done anything like doing. They don't do any type of remote viewing or astral projection, and they were curious because we're good friends, we get along and there's a lot that we can share back and forth. We both do, basically the same things, but they don't do the remote viewing and astral projection. But she concentrated really, really hard the one day. And this was interesting because this happened. Well, it was more so this week, which is hilarious. But the previous weeks, I talked to you guys about something, and then she kind of like jumped in on it. And this week just to see if it would do anything different, because I was curious on how I can like validate, why is it doing this, when I'm like talking to somebody or whatever. So what she ended up doing one time was she was trying to connect, but she, of course, didn't know what's the best way to do it. What did she end up doing was she took her right ring finger and was biting it, not to cause pain, but she was trying to get the message to me. And it was hilarious because all of a sudden my finger would start burning. It wouldn't hurt, it wasn't painful, but I would feel this burning, which again, like I said, I talked about this before because it seemed to like I would have this internal fire feeling whenever I'm talking about healing or specific people. And it was so weird that it was this, and it still does it, but she bit her finger, and I'm like, man, and I just happened to be messaging her at the time. I'm like, man, my finger's really hot, and she kind of gives me a smiley face. I'm like, what did you do? And he said, well, I'm not going to tell you just yet. So like a couple more times, I'm like, just like this, it would be sitting here, and all of a sudden, what is happening? And then, um, sure enough, then it would happen again. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this again, real quick. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, okay. I'm like, what? No, no, a little bit later. Finally, he was saying, well, this is what I did. And I'm like, really? I'm like, well, how did you do that? So then there's now the wheels are spinning. How did this happen? Well, so that was hilarious going back and forth of trying to determine, because then I'm like, well, let me try it. So then I'm trying to bite a finger to see if they could feel it. And it didn't work. But, so then I was like, well, maybe I got to do the remote work. So I could just fly over, so to speak. And then I have to like bite on a thumb or something, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to bite like an arm. I'm going to feel like some creepy, we're getting into incubus and succubus stuff. but I'm like, okay, well, I guess that didn't work. I wasn't concentrating hard enough. I wasn't using the Jedi mind trick or something. So, but it was it was a great experiment. And it was like, I was blown away by it. So, something that needs to be looked into a little bit further. And like I said, we'll see. But that was kind of another cool experience. So that's what got me thinking on the energy thing, because of knowing them and really, connecting with them. And then, like I said, exchanging a lot of stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, what was this? Interesting. So neat stuff. Like I said, for me, I love that when you either create something, or something just kind of happens, and then it's like, again, I still do investigation stuff, so it's like, I got to figure it out. What else, like, you get into that mode, and so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know, Dana, I don't know. So yeah, so that was kind of cool. But like I said, I thought that was neat that just some of these things all happened this week, which I thought was a fun way to bring up the whole thing of energies. And like I said, I loved what you guys all said about being whether it's a soul brother, soul sister, or part of a soul tribe and stuff like that, where you're just all on that same page, and it doesn't matter who or what you are. It's just internally, that's all that matters. So yeah, so that was fantastic. I enjoyed that. We'll see. I'll keep sharing things as they pop up, and as we go along and things. So that's what I wanted to say. And yeah, I think it'll be cool, and we'll keep you posted. Yeah. I think I don't. Yeah, we should still be good. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's still on track. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as changes go for at least the next full month or two. Because I know in May, yeah, because I think it was May. Was it 7th? Well, yeah, there might be. Well, that's the thing is, so there might be 2 dates in May that might be, in fact, 2 in a row. So I might have to figure out how to record a show and at least have one pop up, or maybe I'll record 2 shows. We'll have to see. But May 7th and 14th are probably no goes for me. Hey, Janet, good morning. Yeah, cool, Jeremy. Hey, Ron, what's happening, buddy? Yeah, so granted, this is further down, but just a heads up. But I'm gonna try. I really want to get the record feature working, and so if I am, can't be doing something live, at least I'll have something ready for you guys to go. So yeah, May 7th and 14th are no goes, because one, I'm gonna be helping out at a school function in the morning, yes, and then that following the 14th is that holistic fair that I'm doing in Indiana. So if you go to my page, you can find that banner. So if you guys are interested in coming out, it's going to be a holistic fair during the day, and then there's a ghost hunt at night. So if you're into ghost hunting, you can do both. You can do one or the other, and then there you go. So it's completely cool, great place. The 101 Para Cafe. It's awesome in Winchester, Indiana. So I'm excited to go do that. I'm doing even a music session. A music healing session, I'd say. So I'm going to have all my flutes out there, and I'm going to play for you guys. So that'd be kind of cool. Oh, Jen, thank you. Woo. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Jen, she keeps me up on this stuff because I forget to watch it. But yeah, there's a big, flare on the way, and it should be hitting tomorrow sometime. So tomorrow evening, like she said. So be mindful. You might feel a little bit of strangeness going on. Might have some electronics that might do some funky things. So Be on alert. It was a pretty good one that I remember seeing it the other day when they were saying, "Yep, it's on the way." So, yeah. So be careful. Well, I should say be careful, but just be aware. You might have strange feelings and whatever. So that might happen. So be on the alert. Thank you, Jen, for the reminder. I appreciate that. I didn't put that in my notes. Dang it. Oh yeah, and Shannon. Yep. Tomorrow, gang. Daylight savings time. Who's ready to lose an hour? Me. No, not really. So make sure, all your microwaves and stoves and any other clocks get moved forward tomorrow. So don't forget to do that. Thank you, Shannon, for that. I see, I'm terrible this week with my notes. I should, bad on me. So Valerie, we've never really noticed that before, per se, that, it, a lot of times it certainly could. I'd have to do a little bit more paying attention to it. But but like, my house, I don't really have anything going on. So, and I my intention is never to do that. But I really wanted to I'd love to be able to get to a place to see if there's something to it. So like tomorrow night, which I wouldn't do that anyway, but tomorrow night would be great to be in a place to see what the activity would, does it get worse? Is it cool? Does it disappear? Is it just a refueling / recharging thing for them? Hard to say. Okay, let's see. I sincerely wish they would pick the standard. Shannon, you and me both. We're long past the days where we needed the extra time. We got enough electricity and enough light bulbs that we can do things, in the dark. So I think we're good. So, oh no, Jeremy, what? I found a CD cover here. No CD. I was bummed, but oh man, thanks, bud. I bought it one at the old mill. I gotcha. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, you can always download it if I know most people are downloading now. Or Jeremy, I mean, I still got them. So, I mean, if you want, if we ever, see each other like at the mill or someplace else, man, I'll have a few with me at all times. So I'll just give you another one, man. So, cool. Yeah. So everything's cool. Everything's great. Hope you guys hope your weekends are great. I'm going to have some fun tonight. Going to get together with some friends. I'm excited for that. We'll see what kind of mischief and mayhem we can get into. So that'll be fun. And other than that, yeah, you guys have a great St. Patrick's Day this week. So, let's see all the green beer and stuff all lined up. So even if you're not going to the bar, you can get some food coloring and you can make it look that way, or just get some water and put a couple drops in and mix it up. Nobody will know the difference. So you could be green for a day. Yeah. What you got? Oh, I'm sorry. Great. Oh, thanks, Tanya. Yep. Yeah, we're not all trying to get out the corn plant. Exactly, Debbie. Yep. Yes, Nicole, you have a great weekend too. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Wow, this is the longest I've gone over in a long time. So I might need to. You never know. So I'll keep you guys posted on all that stuff as well, how that all plays out. And if I got to start right away, we'll see. And again, I still want to get that one guided meditation set up. I'm still trying to figure out a good date. Like I said, it's going to probably be on a weekend, maybe. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think real quick? Those that are still left, if you wanted a guided meditation where I'm going to be doing the speaking, would you guys be more interested during the week? Like I said, it's not going to be long. I want to keep it very short. I don't want to sit there and 15-20 minutes, so it's something short. So I mean, it's probably more organization just getting everybody in the same place, but it's going to be short. I didn't want it to be super long. I just wanted to get everybody, have a little bit of fun with it, and you guys get to hear how different I am when I do that stuff. So if you guys prefer during the week, we can do it some evening. I do want to avoid some days because I don't want to overstep. I don't want to overstep, other people's shows, my friends Jeff and Dana when they do Boo Bites, I don't want to ruin their time frame and stuff like that. But any evening or weekend, cool. Thank you, Dana. But yeah, Jeff, you can do that. That's fine. Thanks, Nicole. Just now to dinner. No, Amy, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I would. Um, it would if it ever is going to if I'm ever going to do stuff, it's usually going to be 7 o'clock my time, so 7 Eastern. So you guys, wherever you were at, you can kind of judge from there. But yeah, usually it's 7 to mine because I'm typically still eating at 6, and so I just then like a little bit of time to get situated and stuff. But um, Chad, personally, hump day is my meditation day. Need that midweek cleansing, make it as there. Sometimes you have to because if you got a lot of things going on, a lot of stress, you got to find that moment in there. Yeah, Ron, you have a good one too, man. Thank you, sir. Weekends, yeah, that's what I said. I mean, I know a lot of times, like with the flute show I want to do, that's got to be a weekend because it's just I got a lot more things I have to set up and tear down, and so in the evening, it's like, oh, it's great to do all that, and then it's always the tear down process. So yo, well, Ron, don't get too dirty now. Yeah, see, Debbie, you can't do Tuesday nights because I can't jump on Tim's things. Another great show. So yeah, so it's like Monday. Well, for me, Mondays, Wednesdays, some Fridays, would work. Um, so yeah, I'll try to avoid Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll plan it out, but it'll work. It'll work out. So all right. I've talked to you guys plenty and we've had some fun and some laughs and some hopeful good information. And we will continue again next week, of course. Other than that, let's enjoy the rest of the weekend. It's supposed to warm up for a lot of us, so hopefully we can make it through today. Still under the freezing mark. So let's get past today and get back into some above freezing temperatures tomorrow and the rest of the week. So, Jeff, come on now. I've seen the numbers. You're okay. Yes, thank you, Janet. Good vibes. Son's getting. Oh, cool. Oh, Janet. Well, we're gonna send your son some. Send them some. Love and having a great day. That's awesome. Enjoy that. Absolutely. That's so cool. Congratulations to them. They should say that too. Not that they probably know who I am, but but congratulations to you. And the family. So, all right, I'm out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And like I said, watch for messages, watch for pop-ups, watch for possibly, a lot more shows, going on popping up to do reminders. So keep an eye out. We'll see how that all plays out. And yeah, I will see you guys next weekend. And unless I do something sooner, we'll see. And yeah, it'll be great. Right. So again, thank you so much. You guys have been watching Adam the Black Swamp Medium on the Mid-Morning Medium. Jeez, oh Pete's. Yep. It's because I didn't get a lot of sleep. That's why I can't sign off properly. I was restless sleep last night. And the power blinked. So that's why it's all screwed up. All right. You've been watching the Mid-Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. I'm going to get out of here and go splash some water in my face. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.